Hello everyone, welcome back to war number 3. Let's just jump into it. Unfortunately, I did the classic, didn't record any audio here, but never mind. Here, as you can see, I'm on path 3 against this Dragon Man using Falcon. Why using Falcon, Mr. Mac? Well, he's a global champ, and that's pretty much it. This is a placement where, with Conflictor, you ideally don't want to put debuffs, and most of the attacker champions are science and then put loads of debuffs on the opponent anyway. So as far as I could tell, the best option was to use Falcon with White Magneto pre-fight, so you get those guaranteed stuns. And all you've got to do is deal with the fact that this Dragon Man has quite a lot of power, because he has the thing that isn't power reserve. It's not called power reserve, but it's called power efficiency. I think that's what it's called. So all you've got to do is just make sure you either stun him or get that thing on you, and just hit him a bunch, and eventually he'll die, but he will be throwing specials a lot. Ideally, I should be getting him to throw SP2s, probably, just so he uses that much more power. And yeah, as you can see, I'm doing reasonably well. Here I managed to get off a fat SP2. I really should have used a science boost here just to make it quicker, but in this particular war, time didn't actually matter, because our opponents placed with 29. They fell foul of that brief maintenance toward the end of placement, so that meant that the way the points work out, it meant that we couldn't possibly tie these guys. It would have to come down to death. So as you can see, not too bad of a fight. You finish. Well, I finished at almost full health. I guess the troublesome part there is if you did get hit in the corner, and I did spend most of that fight in the corner, that would be bad news. Now we're using White Magneto pre-fight again on this Kingpin. This is a Vivified Kingpin. I've taken this fight before with Archangel in the previous global, and it was actually, well, I've taken it twice here. First time was fine. Second time it was a disaster and I almost died. Mixture of bad Neuro and him shrugging RNG combined with the global. Here, however, I have guaranteed parries from White Magneto, so it's just nice and easy. And here, we've managed to land a couple of Neuros nice and early, so we're looking good. I'm not sure why I didn't heavy there. I didn't have the timing right. And he's totally melting. Here I remember that if you dex Kingpin's SP1, you're always in range to heavy counter. So I did that, and yeah, fight's over. So that's fine. As you can see, I'm moving quite late. I ended up not getting many fights this war, but that's fine. I'm the planner. I assigned that to myself. There are of course fewer fights to take on this map when they only place with 9 people, because it was our battle group where we had someone missing. So there are 5 fewer fights on the map, and here I'm taking path 1, which is partially empty, and we have this Overseer, and this is Buffet. So here I'm using the attacker tactic to my advantage. We've got Falcon once again, and if he's not getting buffs, there's no Buffet. So it's a pretty solid counter, all things considered, and of course Overseer is basically Science Medusa. So once he's thrown his specials and he's got his charges, multiple hits into him will cause an auto block, but not when he's locked on. So it should be nice and simple, doing lots of good damage. I think that's so here, for example, hitting in no auto block at all, and I back off here. Yeah, only 1 hit and then back off, and just wait for the old Locktron to come back. Falcon's really solid this season. He's got the downtime on Lockton is really low, and he does a lot of good utility and damage. And yeah, he's coming into his own this season, alongside people like Cap and Mr. Fantastic, which is always nice to see. He is of course stun immune as well, but doesn't matter because he's got a nice intercept, and we finish on a full yellow bar, so that's very good. Now I wasn't originally planning to take this next fight, but I ended up taking it because the plan changed. So I should have used 6-hour boost, but never mind, it doesn't matter. We are taking Super Skrull on this Conflictor node. Now, in seasons past, we would just use Tigra, but Tigra doesn't really work against Super Skrull anymore, or indeed in general much against this Defender Global, because she gains an unblockable buff. An unblockable buff quite a lot, which triggers miss and all sorts of stuff. Now, Falcon is kind of ideal for this, again in my opinion, because again with White Magneto pre-fight you've got the guaranteed parries, you've not you're not putting any debuffs on him because Falcon doesn't do, aside from the SB1 bleed, I guess, he doesn't have any debuffs, so you just don't need to worry about Conflictor. And you're a global champion, so you don't have to worry about the miss from their global. The only thing you have to worry about, though, is Overseer, actually not Overseer, Super Skrull's own miss mechanic, which you also have to do with Tigra, but this counters the fight almost as well as anything else can. So we're all fully boosted up. It's time to get in there. I decided to go for the invulnerability boost because I think it might help me if I screw up and miss. And overall, I think that was the right choice. So the plan here is to, in general, hit him when I have locked on, just because I do more damage. And you'll see that there also he's not gaining any armor ups when you hit into him, which is good. And he's also not getting the what the hell's it called? He gets this thing that does block penetration if you do the same move twice into his if you hit him with the same move twice. Now, see earlier I missed the timing on the SP1 dashback because I'm rusty, I've done it in a while. There I managed to clear the Falter by hitting into his block, so that's fine. Anyway, back to regular service here. Building up to my first SP2, and good thing I used a power back boost because it helped a lot, because this fight is just pretty slow. There I'm not confident enough to do my dash in, dash out, dash in that I used to do all the time, because even though I did a quick, see that there, he's now got that prowess and the block penetration. He doesn't get that with locked on, which is very useful. Clear the Falter by hitting into his block, and now I can wait and get locked on. It's been a minute and 15-ish seconds, and we've taken off about a third of his health, which isn't that great. But now we should be getting some good damage. Now that we're locked on, building up to SP2. Now I'm also very wary of his own SP2. I really don't want him to throw it. There he's just throwing heavies for no reason. So I'm taking pains to only get the SB1. Although of course there I go to here I go to hit his block and I intercept. Yeah. So there I do take some hits, which is annoying. There I managed to get SP2 off the corner just, do good damage, push myself back up to SP1, which is great. That power back boost is very useful there. So yeah, this fight is sort of okay. It's just kind of slow because because I've got that energy resist from the global, I probably could take some SP2s into my block, but I decide I'm not really interested in doing that. Here again, I freak out, so I don't properly do the I go to hit his block and I get smacked. I don't. Now here I'm cornered, so I sort of have no choice but to hit him with the SP2, even though it does no damage because he has protection. I don't have locked on, but that's fine. There I do the dash in, dash out, dash in for no reason at all, which is silly, but there we go. Finally, we've got our locked on back again, and we can do some decent damage. It's now been 2.5 minutes. We're over halfway through this fight in terms of time, and obviously we are winning, and it's going to be difficult for this fight to get lost. There I finally do the dash in, dash out, dash in properly to clear the Falter, but it took long enough. Here, I guess I'm getting cornered a bit, and he does have the prowess, but that's fine. I'm just going to sit here and get my locked on, and hopefully this SP2 should finish it, which it basically does. So pretty long fight, as you can see. That took 3 minutes and 9 seconds, but that's fine. We got it down, and that's my contribution over for this war. This was our best. We didn't do that well, but it was our best output so far for the season. Our deaths are coming down, which is great. We managed to win this war, so we go into the whole season. We go into the second week of the season 2-1 up, which is good. So thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta.